How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to tell you about the things I've learned about money and really the two ways that I've found that you can make more money. So, this is something that I really wish someone had told me when I had gotten out of college or when I was going into college, most likely, or even in high school. This is something that is simple on one hand, but a lot of people don't consider it and don't really focus on building their income in this way. And I think if I was 18 again or 20 or just not knowing this in general, I'd want to know what I'm about to say. There's this back and forth between two different things that can cause you to either make $1 million a year or $10 a year. So there is a balance that you have to strike, and for everyone it's different, right? So if you are okay with going to get a lot of schooling, you'll be on one end. If you're okay with being a broke creator for a while, you can be on the other end and still make a lot of money. So I've focused on building up my income in a different way than I originally thought. This is something that I've focused on, and I'll just show you the graph right here. So on one hand, you have the value that you bring to a group of people or a person, and then you have the volume, right? The audience. How many people can you help? There are two real ways of making money here, right? So there is high audience or a high number of people and very low value, or you can be the opposite end, which is really high value and low audience. If you are someone that brings little value and you can help a limited number of people, you're not going to make much money. I mean, these people can still do great things, right? So someone that works at a grocery store or works at a restaurant or someone that, does any of these jobs that pay maybe, 20 grand, 10 grand, whatever you want to say, anything that pays a small amount, they can still be great at their job. They can be the number one cashier out there. But most people that are in that position won't be able to be compensated highly for that because while they might be the best at it, there's someone else that does just fine at it. So their amount that they can help people and their amount of value that they bring is limited. Now, on the other hand, you can be someone that, brings a decent amount of value but doesn't help that many people. Maybe you're at a job where you can bring some value to someone. Maybe you just can't help that many people at once. These are the middle of the pack people, right? So maybe they make a decent amount of money, but they can't really do a lot for that person. They bring some value, but they're still not bringing enough to really push them over the edge and beat out maybe other competitors. But then you have the people that bring a massive amount of value and can help, just a few people. Think about doctors, think about lawyers, think about accountants, right? They can only help maybe one person at a time. Maybe if they're lucky, they can help a couple. Let's say you're an accountant or something like that. But, they can only scale up so much by themselves, right? So they might get paid a lot, but not have as much room to grow because they can only focus on one thing at a time. And these are great jobs, right? I mean, think about the ones I just talked about. Those are the jobs that we consider here, at least where I am when I was a kid. Those are the jobs that we thought about when we thought about high-paying jobs. But there is the other end of the spectrum, which is something that I'm working in, right? This is something that I'm growing into. And I'll tell you how you can kind of build this up for yourself because there are a couple different ways that you can do this. But you can bring a good amount of value and affect a lot of people. So with this YouTube channel, let's say, or with any kind of social media platform, you can reach enormous amounts of people and bring them value. Let's say I make a video on Roth IRAs or any kind of investing, general principles, and that gets 5,000 views. Think about how many people's lives that affects, especially if they get some kind of value out of it. 5,000 people is an enormous amount. Think about a teacher who might help 30 people day to day. 30 people in their class times 6 classes, 180 people. Let's just round that up to 200. And they do that for a year, and then the next year they do another 200, then 200. That would take them 25 years to reach that same 5,000 mark. That's kind of crazy when you think about it, that social media has been able to give just about anyone with a phone a platform to be able to express their thoughts and their ideas. This is something that I'm trying to do. Now, if you want to be really good, if you want to make massive amounts of money, you can be on this end of the spectrum up here, which is high value and a huge number of people that you can reach. When I think about this, I think of people that are really successful on social media. I mean, I don't know if there's another platform that offers this scale, right? Or another medium. I don't think you can reach this number of people and do this much good in TV anymore. I don't think you can do it in radio. I don't think you can do it necessarily even in real life. I mean, when you think about the people that get paid more than anyone else these days that maybe aren't CEOs of the world, or, people that own massive amounts of the stock from just building up the company or owning a company, the people that make their money not building up those types of investments are social media people. I mean, of course you can have people that build brick and mortar businesses, right? But starting at a young age, you can make tens of millions of dollars in social media. And I think that is a great way that you can bring a lot of value to a lot of people. I look at Graham Stephan. He was someone that brought finance to the masses on YouTube. He was one of the first people that did it. And he's getting paid millions of dollars each year. Meet Kevin the same way. He's breaking down stimulus. He's providing people a lot of value. A lot of people like it. And they're both reaching millions of people every day, every week, every month. Those are the types of jobs that I think pay the best. And even if you're building a brick and mortar, right? So if you make some kind of business and you create a ton of value, right? So let's say you can make some vehicle that's $5,000 less than the next vehicle, or let's say you make a part that's 20% cheaper, and you can distribute that to a lot of people. You bring a lot of value and cost savings, and then your audience is so high, the number of people that you're reaching is so high that it pushes you over the edge. It pushes you high on the value and high on the audience, the volume. So that is how you make a lot of money. Now, I've been trying to do this myself, right? So I was planning on getting my MBA. I had done all the paperwork, I got accepted, and then YouTube started to take off. On YouTube, I started to get paid. That was kind of a transitioning point between these two different ways of making money. This was something that was hard for me to decide, but I decided not to go get my MBA because while I could get paid maybe 90 or 100,000, maybe even more after 2 years of schooling, I saw the value that I could bring to so many people and the scalability that YouTube brings. I mean, they want you to do well and distribute what you show on your channel to a lot of people. This was something that I thought was worth trying out instead of going back to get my MBA, and I stopped going to get my MBA. I was just about to start. This is something where I think that pretty much anyone can do this. Now, I think there are a couple different ways that you can make more money. Again, one, you can go get more schooling. You can become more certified. You can just become better at whatever you do. You can bring more value to the audience that you're impacting. The other way is just to find some kind of platform to distribute more content, distribute better content on. And I think there are a couple different ways of doing that, but that is the main way that I'm focusing on building my income. I want to reach more people and I want to provide good content. Now, again, if you want to do this, I think a side hustle is great. It gives you the ability to either go after the high value, low audience or low volume clientele, let's say you're woodworking or something like that, or you can focus on reaching massive amounts of people and provide as much value as you can. But let's say even you don't even provide a lot of value. Let's say that you just reach millions of people and you give them a laugh, right? That's still going to be massively impactful. So that is the way that I think a lot of people can make a lot of money. If you focus on one of these ways, or better yet, you focus on both, you go up and to the right on that graph, I think you can make massive amounts of money. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I appreciate it. If you like this, please leave a thumbs up. If you guys want to support in some way, there are a bunch of links down below. If you want to start investing, you can check out the links to Webull or M1 Finance. I really appreciate that, and it goes a far way for me and for the channel. If you guys like this, please share it with someone else you know that might just need to hear this. So thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.